Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Okay, so new setup. This thing's probably too loud. It's like right in my mouth. Tell me how you guys hear me and whatnot. I'm gonna need a sound check. Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. What? Check it. Check. Microphone checker on two. What? Microphone checker on two. What? Okay, seriously, how's it sound? I'm waiting, patiently waiting. Can y'all hear me, mother fat heads? I said, can you hear me, fools? Nothing? Nobody's going to tell me anything. I'm just sitting here. I'm talking into the breeze. I'll just jet. I can go. I'll go then. Should I go? Should I leave? Oh, no. No, you can't hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Jeez. I hate you all. Tell me something. How does this sound? Y'all who are typically here, how does this sound compared to my other setup? Because my sister-in-law gave me a whole new microphone and headset setup, and she says it's like professional and awesome. So if that's the case, then we good. How's it sound? Do you hear any background noise? Mm, higher pitch on the voice. So which one do y'all prefer better? Let me know which one you prefer better, because this is a plug and play. I can just pop this sucker out. Yes, well, I guess Nick DeSantos, I assume that he would have to sound smooth and crap. Well, I guess sometimes crap can be smooth. Anyway, um, so yeah, okay, so I'll keep this headset on. So anyway, you'd figure Deadpool would show up because though he's not technically a mutant, neither is Juggernaut, but we fully expect Juggernaut to show up, right? So why wouldn't we expect Deadpool to show up? He's more associated with the X-Men than anything else. So yeah, I'm sure that he'll show up. So it'll be cool. Um, what's going on, everybody? What's up, Raven? What's up, Seamus? One God Tank. Suan. What's up, Suan? Nick. What's up? Gilbert. Let's see. Sebastian. Taki. What's up, Taki? Isaiah. Silva Surfer. Oh, both mods are in. Y'all in trouble today. So, what's up? I was actually in the middle. Actually, I'm almost finished building a wall unit for the wife. Just came in and she's all like, "Ooh, would you build my thing for me? Because and I'm like, all right, fine." And then she also got me a cabinet so I could put all my toys because I have a lot of toys. I think y'all know that, right? This is not even 1% of my toys. That's not an exaggeration. That's not being boastful. Sinister wasn't supposed to be a mutant either. You're right. Sinister wasn't supposed to be a mutant. There's like one version of him that's a mutant, but even then, it's like he altered it to become a mutant. What's up, Michael? Albuquerqueese. Oh, greetings from Spain. What's going on? Que pasa? I know that's not like, I know it's like Mexican Spanish. Ciao would be Italian. I know, I can't remember the last time, what we used to say when, last time I was in Spain. Just, hey, hi. Um, bonjour in French. Wow, I'm really losing it right now. Anyway, I have visited Spain, Barcelona and Madrid specifically, and what's the other part that I was at? Malta? No, Malta's a different country entirely. Uh, Alameda? I was there. There's another part too. Darn it, can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, all that good stuff. No, I haven't watched Joker yet, Mark. I wanted to, I just didn't. What do you think of Black Storm? Updates from Kate. Hey, what's going on, Tim Board? Morning, Professor. Enjoyed your Hawkman review. Tell it like it is. Reading Hawkman, then checking into your review. Something I look forward to. Yeah, I was very disappointed when I have something to show you. I was very disappointed when what you call Venditti responded that he'd never read the the hell's it called? You know what I'm talking about. The Divine Comedy. I was so disappointed because it really felt like he was working off of something like that. What a freaking shame. Okay, something with wings. Something with wings. Check it out. Ah! Oh wait, no, that's the vulture. That's not what you want to see. Oh, I guess that's not it at all. Oh, maybe it's this one. Oh look, I finally got another DC Legends Hawkman. I actually did a review for it on my other channel, but make, I didn't edit and upload the review yet. But yeah, this thing that came out in like, what was it, 2006? It is an old one. I paid $50 Canadian for it. That's like 40 American, but totally worth it. 100% totally worth it. He's got a little sword sheath on the back and hold a little thing and whatnot. And I just like this was always my favorite Hawkman figure that was ever made, and I finally got it. Well worth every single penny. Like I said, I did a review, but I just didn't put it up yet. I will one of these days. I also got a whole bunch of the new Star Wars figures, my peeps. Check it out. I got two of these, the guys with the they can fight force field like force users with lightsabers. I got two of the Night Sisters, not Night Sisters, excuse me, they're second sister Inquisitors. Wow, Night Sisters would be great. I wish they would put them up. But I got two of them, and I got two of these new Sith Trooper guys. They look kind of cool. And I got this guy, Cal Kestis. I guess he's going to be in the upcoming movie because I never heard of him before. But he's got a lightsaber. Oh, I've also got the new thing that came out in the Purge Trooper. It's actually right there. You know what? Let me grab that really quick because I'm really proud of that. Babe? Oh, something's burning. Okay, well, fix that. Ah. So my wife is a special kind of cook, meaning she can't cook. But anyway, Star Wars related. Yeah, this Purge Stormtrooper. I got one of them. Probably should have gotten two, but I don't know anything about them. But they look cool, so I got one just for the sake of the conversation. I also got I got two Danny Moonstars. I tried to get a third one, but they wouldn't let me. So screw them. Anyway, why three? One, because I need Danny Moonstar because she's my favorite freaking mutant. Two, uh, see if I can show you without it freaking glaring. Let's see. Anyway, it comes with the Karma head, so I can put Karma's head on this and actually make Karma. And it also comes with Wolfbane's like mid-wolf form, the head and the two hands, so I can actually make Wolvesbane also. So I got to get a third one, so I can have all three of those new mutants. Plus, you can see that I've got Warlock back there. I need to get my hands on a Cipher, so I'll need a male version of this body. And when I've got Cannonball, but he's in his X-Force uniform, I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm gonna try and do a modification too, because he what's his name? Cannonball only comes with the blaster form on the bottom, but I saw somebody take a paladin figure and he broke off the top and just used the bottom, the legs and the waist, and put that on it. So it falls, but whatever, I can find something so it'll actually stay. And he just did a paint job on it. So I bought an extra paladin. Hey, what's going on, Reggie? So gonna need to put together a quick little Shazam. Jigga, 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 ah, what's up? Boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, shaka, laka, laka. Reggie Simmons is awesome. Boom, shaka, laka, laka. Thank you, Reggie. Much appreciated. This is the kind of stuff that makes my wife say, yeah, sure, keep the channel going. I also got Agent Antivenom, which is effing awesome. So bang! I'm very happy about that too. I'm actually gonna like he only appeared once, you know what I'm saying, right before he died. That is Flash. Spoilers for Spider-Man issue number 800. Sorry. It was like last year. But anyway, it was almost 2 years. I don't know. Anyway, it was a year ago. So anyway, boom, this is awesome. I also got the big time Spider-Man, which is pretty sexy. Which one didn't I get yet? I'm breathing into that thing, aren't I? I hate that. I hear it. So that's good to know that it does that. Anyway, I'm missing something else. There was something I couldn't find in the stores yet. So anyway, there's a couple more things I got to do. So let's see. Did I hear that Image Comics announced an upcoming comics and old ones returning? Yes, Saga included. Just kidding. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with that because it's literally like a double negative, which is really weird. Anyway, um, so no, I didn't see the upcoming Image stuff. I've actually been away from my computer for a while. Like I came home last night And I think at like three to 3:30 or something like that, I came on the computer and I was messing around on Facebook and I was watching some videos, and then I was like, ugh, I'm gonna go to sleep. So I did, and yeah, it's a 4-day weekend for most of us up here. Not for me. I still have to work 6 days a week, but wife gets off and the kids are off, so it's just a whole bunch of extra work. Uh, let's see. Somebody else has something up there also, which I was interested in. Oh, Joker is breaking lots of records. Yeah, I've got to check out the Joker. Um, I can't go with the fam. Maybe I can try and get away and go tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I really do want to see it. Like, I genuinely want to see it. I heard that it's really good. So, bang, I'll check that out. Ooh, that's something. I want a Moira figure now. They should have a Moira figure, right? Let's see. Other news. Oh, yes, I saw the Tom Holland thing. That was like last week, though, wasn't it? Anyway, it was in the beginning of last week. That's something. That's one of the reasons why I need to start doing the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like changing this to an actual live stream and then doing an actual podcast, so I can just look through the news of the week, have it all down there, and hopefully talk to somebody about it. Um, the two people I want to talk to about it, I'm going to see one on Monday and the other one on Tuesday. Hopefully, I'll see the other one on Tuesday. So we'll see what's up. And if not, then I can just go it alone, I guess. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. What else we got here? One of the lives of Moira was 616, but it ended badly. I think they were all technically Earth 616. Maybe they were considered different realities. It's hard to say with that one because technically, according to Marvel Universe rules, it should have been an entirely different reality, right? But then does that reality actually end when she dies, or does it continue somewhere else? Because if it does continue, hey, you put my cat down. Don't pick up my cat. What's the matter with you? Be good. Kids are kids. So my 4-year-old, he sees that I'm busy. He's like, "Oh, Daddy can't stop me. I'm gonna pick up Bagel, mother fathead. I'll pick you up, toss you out a window." Anyway, Oregon is getting cold. Seasons are changing. I'd imagine it's Canada, man. It always happens. Cleveland trees are switching. The trees are the trees have changed, and most of the deciduous trees are, empty. They have lost all their trees, so is what it is. Hey, don't mess with my cat. What's up, ICT Vinny? Oh, and what's up, Corey? I don't think I said hi to you. Aggressively relaxing. What's up? Uh, oh, Corey just asked. Yes, yes, the Canadian trees have changed, and they've already started to become mulch. Mark, looks like we'll see the Tim Burton Batman Earth is in Crisis on Earth. Everybody keeps talking about that. I'm gonna have to watch it. Yeah, see, that is freaking awesome if they're really gonna put Michael Keaton in it. Like, I am so freaking down for that. Dude, I would love to see Keaton come back. Mother fat. um, Mekoseta, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Yeah, I heard that in that would have been junior year of high school. So third year of high school. Um, there was a kid from Asbury. I'd already moved out of Asbury, and there was some kid from Asbury. He used to say that, and I started picking it up also. It was hysterical. It was a great way to curse without cursing, because I've gone through multiple, you know, uber religious phases in my day, and now I'm just like, "Psh, whatever." But anyway, or at least for now I'm in that. But I don't know. What do you call it? Yeah. So Mother Fathead was just a really funny one to me. It just flows so smoothly, like Fargan Ice Hole. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. Did you read this week's Justice League Odyssey? No. I think you posted some I think it was you who posted some pictures in the Facebook page. So I saw that. That looked cool. That Rage Kitty is getting OP. I'm excited for that. I want to see. I want to get a Rage Kitty figure. See see about doing that. What do you expect from Kelly Thompson's Deadpool? I expect it to be hysterical because she did Deadpool in not Hot Shots. That was Gail Simone in the Mr. and Mrs. X. She had Deadpool appear multiple times in that, and it was funny. It was hysterical the whole time. Um, like it wasn't like Oh my God, I'm dying, but it also wasn't trying to be that. It was just a good version of Deadpool that I could continue reading. So I'm looking forward to see that. Dexter is growing on you. Wow, dude, go back and read the original appearance of Dexter. Go look up Dexter Explained Comic Book University. I pretty much give you the entire four issue, not four issue, I think it's 4 or 6 pages, his original story, which is also his origin story. Go consider trying to buy that comic book if you can. Get it digitally if you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like Comixology, I'm sure has it. Because wow, actually, and if you have the subscription to the DC Universe, you already have the comic book. Go and read that. It's in. Look up his first appearance. Actually, somebody can look that up. What am I saying? Raven's in the chat. Raven, you probably have it on memory. What's the first appearance of Dexter? Um, It'll probably be like 15 or 20 seconds before that gets to him, and then he'll have it up almost immediately because he's freaking Raven. So, what do you call it? Yeah, Dexter is just amazing. I love that cat. Like he's one of my favorite characters. And when you read his origin, if you don't cry, you're not human. Yes, yes, the because I good kitty quote. Yes, you know the one, dude. He's freaking awesome. Uh, will the X-Men bring back Vulcan? Wilfredo, what's going on, Wilfredo? Vulcan as Emperor Vulcan or as his less patricide self? Also, what's up? What's up? What's up with you? When they bring back Vulcan, I'm sure they will. Hey, what's up, cuz? How you doing, Tommy? When they do bring back Vulcan, because I'm sure they will. Let's see. Honestly, whatever it is, it's gonna have to. I would hope it's just gonna be epic. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever they're gonna do with it, and I'm kind of hoping that they're gonna like leave him for about a year or 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Because they've already got so much that they could do right now. They really don't have to reintroduce old characters or, God forbid, introduce new. You know what I'm saying? They really don't have to do that right now. They could just start exploring the storyline as they've got it. And then all of a sudden, Magneto, who's left them, can just be like, I've got a, you think you've got every chip together, don't you, Scott Summers? Well, remember Vulcan, and all of a sudden, like, oh crap, we're dead. Yeah, like we could just do something like that, you know? I would love to see something like that. What cons do I visit every year? Usually the Aurelia one, which is put on by one of Carlos's friends. Um, I visit the um, come on now. It's not called a Comic Con, but it is the Fan Expo Canada. I'm going to try and go to Toronto Comic Con. I'm going to try and visit Hamilton Comic Con. I missed the London one. I really wanted to go to London, but they didn't have anything special there. Kenny Omega was there. I kind of want to see him, but they didn't really have any comic book guys that were special. They did have um, what's it called? Cape Joel. They had Cape Joel there, and I wouldn't mind going up and shaking his hand. You know what I'm saying? That would be really cool. But aside from that, they didn't really have anybody special there for comic books, so I wasn't interested in making that. That's like a 2-hour trip, easy, you know. Um, so yeah, I just avoided that one. And aside from that, I know I go to another one too, and I just can't remember what it is right now. But yeah, oh, Niagara Falls Comic Con. I visit though as of this year, I visited it. Notice some characters age faster than others, like Power Pack. Most of them are grown up, while other characters have barely aged. Mark, if you're reading the Runaways about 5 issues ago, um, what do you call it? Oh my God, I know her name. Princess Power's best friend. Oh, for crying out loud, what's her name? She rides on the rainbows and all that stuff. Anyway, she just ate a cupcake that makes it so she'll never age. Oops. Or at least brought her down from she was an adult and then brought her back down to her young age again. So yeah, and I don't know if that's permanent or not, but I think it's permanent. So wow. Anyway, it was a magical cupcake. I know it sounds stupid, but yeah, it's a real thing. Isaiah, do you think Avengers need a relaunch? Who do you think is best suited to write the Avengers? Yeah, I do think that they need a relaunch. And as far as who's best suited to write them, honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't do casting very well, whether it's in movies or whatever. I really just don't do casting very well. But I feel like Aaron has his moments, but then he just it's like he gets down to the nitty gritty and starts doing yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like he's writing. You ever start writing and then you're falling asleep and then you don't know what you're writing anymore, and you just start kind of going off in a weird thing, and you wake up, you're like, oh, and you start getting back on it again. I feel like he just drifts off a little bit too much, and it gets frustrating. Since I pay for them, it gets frustrating. So I don't know how I feel about his books anymore. What's that? Is that a high five, or are you telling me to stop, Silva? Because actually, you could just be trying to slap me. I remember those days. I ain't forgot. The North remembers, mother fathead. I'm in the North, and we remember. All right, building a wall out of beer kegs. They gonna be empty, but it's a thought that counts. I like the art of Rod Reese much better. Yes, yes. Okay, it's jumping. Technical question: how did Cypher get his arm? Oh, he had a thing recently with it's a techno-organic virus. It actually is Warlock. Like Warlock jumped on to save his life. So that's actually the thing there. So I believe that Oh, you're agreeing. Gotcha. I believe that that's actually Warlock on his arm. So yeah. Richard, what's going on? Richard and Joshua Nobre, how you doing? Quick question about old Daredevil books. Should I read Frank Miller's Man Without Fear before reading Born Again? Um, they're both completely different from one another. So honestly, you can read whatever ones you want. I don't think it matters. Um, honestly, yeah, I think you could read whichever ones you want because they are fairly different from each other. Um, the I enjoyed his Man Without Fear. I enjoy them both honestly, and I don't think I have Born Again. I don't think I actually own Born Again, but I have Frank Miller's run, and those are just yeah. Go read Frank Miller's run, dude. I have all the Blackest Night titles, and I just started on Brightest Day. Brightest Day may disappoint you, but there's that. Final Crisis, Rage of the Red Lanterns, issue number one. Raven is the man. Hey, Professor, what's up, John? Do you think the Illuminati need to return to Marvel? Well, it is Hickman doing it. And he did put Beast in there before he stopped doing it. So that could be interesting because, we haven't seen Beast in a while, right? What if Beast is still running around with the Illuminati? Wow. Wow. I'm doing good, Rich. How you doing? I can't believe you almost forgot Niagara Falls Comic Con. I'm sorry, Victor. I'm sorry. Oh, it's funny. I just showed my kids the first Godzilla movie ever. I meant to show them Godzilla versus Megalodon, but in because that one I think would be fun for them, where he's doing the kung fu and he's with Jet Jaguar. I figured they would like that. They're 4 and 6 years old. But I remember that Gigan was also in it. So I was like, okay, Godzilla versus Gigan, right? That is a very different movie. Like Godzilla had blood coming out of his head as King Ghidorah, as just regular Ghidorah, and freaking Gigan are beating the crap out of it. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I did, and I can't turn it off now. So, oof. We plan on watching Star Wars for the third time. Fourth time for the fourth time. They've watched it 3 times. Once they actually watched it on their own. They plugged it in and watched it on their own. I'm so proud of these little nuggets. They don't know that there are more Star Wars movies. Um, what do you call it? But we're gonna watch it again like a fifth time. We're gonna watch it a fifth time, and then after we watch it, I'm gonna wait a little while, and before the weekend's over, I think, and I'm gonna record this. We're gonna watch Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I think we're gonna watch Empire Strikes Back, and I'm gonna pretend like it's. I'm just like, you want to watch Star Wars? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, cool, guys. Let's get. I got them a little Darth Vader figure. They love it. I can't find a Luke Skywalker figure, so I got a First Order Stormtrooper figure for them, and they pretend. I love these little guys. They pretend it's Luke Skywalker, so they can have Luke Skywalker versus Hans versus Darth Vader. Because remember, in the only movie they watched, Luke Skywalker puts on the stormtrooper suit, right? And he doesn't actually use the lightsaber in combat. He just uses it to practice a little bit. That's it. So they're like, that's Luke Skywalker. So I'm like, these little nuggets, man, I love these guys. So I'm gonna surprise them and say, let's watch Star Wars. but I'm going to put an Empire Strikes Back instead. I'm going to sit down with him and I'm going to make sure that my wife records the part where all of a sudden he reveals, Darth Vader reveals that he's the paterfamilias of Master Luke. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, and I'm expecting that maybe my 4-year old, but definitely my 6-year old is it's just gonna be like watching and be like, wait, what? Oh, I can't wait to see that. Oh, I'm just saying, and yeah, I'm gonna record it. I'm probably gonna put it up because this guy, man, I can't wait for him to see that moment. Greatest moment in history. Anyway, yeah, so Victor, I remembered the because you showed up and you had those three Godzilla figures, and I actually went to my local Walmart looking for a Godzilla figure, couldn't find one. I don't want to have to spring for one at my comic book store. You know what? Maybe I'll try and eBay it. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, what did I just get from eBay? I just got something from eBay recently. Jackass went and sent it in a freaking butter box. No, I'm not joking. A Lando Lakes butter box. He sent me this thing. Oh, it's in my room. I got a Billy Batson figure and the little Mr. Mine figure. That is so cool. I only paid like it was like 14 bucks for the thing itself, but 26 bucks Canadian for the shipping. And for him to have shipped it in a Lando Lakes butter box with one strip of newspaper around it, I was pissed. So I contacted him. I was like, dude, you screwed me over on the shipping, bro. Like, come on now. You shipped this in a butter box? Like that's not cool, man. Like throw me back some money and I won't bother leaving any comment for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll just leave it, no comment. And it's just like, nah, man, I got to make something off it. And like, was it damaged when I sent it? I was like, no, it wasn't damaged. But like, come on, dude. Like, that's disgusting. You sent it in a freaking butter box. Like, that's disgusting. It still smelled like butter. I had to wash the thing with palm olive and water. Like, come on. And he's like, well, it wasn't broken when it got to you. Like, what a sarcastic bastard. So I was like, you know what? So I left him negative comment. I said that the shipping was great. Well, the shipping got to me in time, but he sent it in a Lando Lakes butter box. It's like, so, like if you deal with this guy, send pictures of what kind of butter box he sends it in. Would you believe that 10 minutes later, not YouTube, eBay took it down because he commented the idea that I asked him to send me back money first. I gave him a chance to do, in my opinion, the right thing, something to keep me satisfied. You know what I'm saying? And because I did that instead of just leaving the negative comment, they called it extortion. Wow. Like, I guess I could see that. Like, I'm trying to see it fairly, but at the same time, taking down my comment like that. Also, think about what this means. This guy's got 1,000 some odd positive comments, one neutral comment in the last 6 months, and no negative comments in the last 6 months, but hidden ones that are negative 12 months, up to 12 months ago. Um, but right now, no negative comments for the past 6 months. And I gotta wonder how many of those were ones that he was able to find some way of getting that negative comment taken down. Think about it. As the buyer, the only thing that we've got as a bargaining chip for them to send us good stuff is a little review that most people don't look at anyways. You know what I'm saying? You look and you say, "Oh, he's like 98% positive stuff, so I'll buy from him." No, very few people actually, I do, but very few people I believe actually look at the comments to see what kind of negative experiences have people had. So like with that being the case, the guy eBay literally took away the only countermeasure I have against being treated negatively. Like that's just disgusting. Wow, buyer beware at this point, right? Buyer beware. So like that's just the way the world is turning nowadays. Buyers have less and less rights. Let's jump down a little bit. Jamie O'Connell, what's your favorite Spider-Man run? My favorite Spider-Man run was the original Web of Spider-Man. That's an easy one for me. I loved that run so much. The other versions of the Vulture, and then Vulture himself showing up to beat up and try and kill those versions of the Vulture. Um, Spider-Man trying to get away from Kingpin and all like it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely loved that run. Why do you say Brightest Day might bum you out? I wasn't a fan of it. I felt like, for me, Darkest Night was, or Blackest Night was just like the best that Green Lantern has ever been. While Blackest Night was out, I was telling people like Green Lantern was my favorite superhero. Right now, he's like my third favorite superhero. But I used to say like this guy's my favorite superhero right now because like his run is so amazing. Jeff Johns, holy crap! But then when Brightest Day came out, it just didn't quite do it. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Frank? Just watched the review. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on doing those reviews for all the other good stuff. Please don't ban us, China. No, no, no. I don't think that China's gonna ban them, dude. They can't solve it. Well, I don't know about they can't, but I don't think they will because, like, ugh, you know. Um, what do you call it? They anyway, yeah, they're hiring Chinese actors and Chinese people to actually work in the film industry or in the on the film itself. So bang. I think it's cool. I think that they're fine. I think that they're gonna be fine. Like World of Warcraft got in there. I'm sure they'll be all right. Who just said something? Def Rocker, what's up? What's going on with this Spider-Man snafu, Disney and Marvel? I think we're good for right now. I think we're good for right now. What did your missus like about Shazam? What DD? Your, I guess that's what did your missus like? My wife actually hasn't watched Shazam yet. Um, what do you call it? I watched it with my kids while my wife was at work. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. But yeah, no, nothing else. Like she didn't watch it yet, and we don't own Aquaman, so we didn't see Aquaman yet. One of these days, we're gonna have to buy Aquaman. Mark, yes, I did read his one shots. Yeah, oh yeah, they were called Imagine, and I wasn't a huge fan of them at all. I didn't like them. Tom Ellis might show up as Lucifer in Christ on Infinite Earths. Cool. What's your favorite superhero of all time? Captain America. What's your favorite comic book run of all time? I don't really have a favorite comic book run of all time, but Captain America is my favorite hero. Let's see. Schmern one. I'm a huge Weapon H fan. Nice. Does anyone know if he'll appear in any of the other War of the Realms? If he appears in any of the other War of the Realms besides War of the Realms Strike Force? Yeah, that's the only one he appeared in. Number one, I think I remember hearing that he was going to appear in Agents of Atlas, but there's only like 2 issues left of that, so we'd have to do it pretty quickly if he does. Yeah, he's a hard one to write because I mean he's two OP characters to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Mm. Plus like a lot of the character just doesn't make sense. Like he's a little tiny guy. I get the idea how they're saying that his adamantium expands on his bones. Sure, I guess. But how do the claws expand exactly? Right? Like the character just doesn't make any kind of sense logically. It's completely freaking out there, but whatever. Um, I can't believe it's Billy Batson. What's up, SM 2099? Want a Red Lanterns comic book? The New 52 comic was average, in my opinion. Yeah, I didn't like it. I think I read the first 2 issues. It didn't catch me. I put it back down. Ooh, Black Label. Now you're going somewhere. Don't judge me. Tim, don't get me started on Brightest Day. I still see a white lantern and immediately go into a subtle rage. Not going to mention that hanging ending. Yeah, it just didn't. Again, it just didn't really do it for me. They kind of rushed the whole Hawkman thing, the Hawkman and um, Kendra. It was Kendra this time. It's like, oh no, I actually did love you. I actually do remember you, and I do love you. And all of a sudden, it's like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Really? So it's not about she did love it. So she just had to say it. She had to say it out loud, like, or she just finally believed it for the first time. Come on now. Come on now. Never did anything with that. Can you say your miss really likes Mr. Momoa? Um, so according to my wife, and I don't know how much I should believe her, but according to my wife, when she says when women say they've got a crush on a guy, they don't actually think about, and you know what? Maybe some of the ladies in the chat can comment on this. When you see, because when a guy says, "Yeah, that chick is hot, man. I would bang," we mean it. We're like, "Dude, I would bang the crap out of her." You know what I'm saying? Like that's actually how we think because we're stupid like that. Women, however, when they're like, "Oh my God, he is so gorgeous," blah 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 blah. Well, sometimes women will say like, "I would jump his bones," but like I don't know. According to my wife, she says the people that she hangs out with, they don't think that way. They're just like, "Oh my God, he's cute," but it's like an eye candy kind of thing. I don't know how much I believe her. But anyway, no, I didn't watch Batwoman. I heard that it in itself had high ratings, but that people were disappointed with it. So talk to me about it, Def Rocker. Uh, JT Gamer, Disney planning on buying Spider-Man movie rights back. They can't. They're not going to sell them. Crush is a compliment eye candy. There you go. Okay, so there we go. Suan says, and I believe. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. They can't just buy it outright. They would like to be able to, but yeah, like it's not even like, Disney. It's not even like Sony saying, "Well, fine, but it's for $1 billion or $10 billion." Disney can't buy them because Sony's not even giving them a number. They're not even giving them an astronomical number. There is no figure involved, so they can't. Um, Not that big a fan of the CW Arrowverse shows anymore. They first started, they were amazing. Yeah, I saw up until the first season of Flash, and I think they were only on 3 seasons of Arrow at that time. And I didn't watch any more after that. I did see some of these scenes with Silencer because I thought, yay. But I also heard they didn't do anything with her anymore after that, which is derf. But anyway, yeah, eh, whatever. It is what it is. Silva, who wrote Spidey Life Story, that dude should write Avengers, but with 2-year arc planned. Yeah, I can see. That's Chip Zdarsky, by the way, Canadian guy, lives right here in Toronto. Very cool, like an unbelievably cool guy. You meet the guy and you're just like, dude, you know so much about Spider-Man, you know so much about the Fantastic Four. He's the guy I actually want to be writing the Fantastic Four TV series, comic book. He was writing the Marvel 2-in-1 with some of with the Thing and Human Torch, and I can't tell you how amazing it was, dude. It was really solid. Finally collected the old comic books before DC started being good again. Wow. What happened to Something Killing the Children? Only issue 1 came out, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if issue 2 came out yet, but that should be James Tynion the fourth, right? Raven, it was canon that once set adamantium only being reshaped by Magneto and Molecule Man type powers or devices. Yes, 100% correct. Um, Molecule Man's something else though, man. Like this cat, he changed. It was a good issue. He changed Thor's hammer, which is Uru, which is stronger than adamantium, which is as strong as Captain America's shield. He also changed Captain America's shield. And he also changed Silver Surfer's board. And it's funny because he said with Captain America's shield, all of these things, it's easy to put them back to wherever they were. But your shield, the shield, there's something special in it that I'm not sure what it is. That's when they were doing the whole thing with like, it's a combination of vibranium and iron and some unknown metal, some unknown compound, I should say, to that went in there with it. No, a catalyst, some unknown catalyst that caused this perfect fusion. I know there's going to be a bunch of people saying it's actually an adamantium vibranium compound alloy, but that is wrong. You will find that in one of the official handbooks of the Marvel Universe, but you'll only find it there. And actually, no, no. No. Most of the people who are going to say that are people who play the face rip game because Jeff Grubb or whoever it was who wrote that particular part made a mistake and said that it was compound, it was the adamantium vibranium alloy, but that's not true. It's actually not true at all. So yeah, there's that. It was just yeah, somebody just made a mistake on that. Coffee breath. That's a cool name. Let's see. Where do we think we where we see out of comics versions of atrocities? I don't know where we're going to see atrocities again, but as long as it's good, man. They can't just keep on throwing. One of the things they keep on doing in DC is they'll throw in a character at you that we haven't seen in a while, so we're all like, "Holy crap, it's such and such," and then it's like he's just standing there talking, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm really tough." And it's like, "Are you gonna do anything?" And no, they never do anything. So I'm like, psh. Corey Kelly, so ready for the Batman relaunch with James Tinian? Yes. His Justice League Dark has been amazing. Yes. And he was the only one who, at the time, was keeping the Justice League book in order, as far as I'm concerned. Scott Snyder was just throwing way too, and he's doing it again, throwing way too much stuff at us, which is like, ugh. Anybody who changes Norrin Red, why would somebody change Norrin Red? Oh, Richard up here. Ever think of doing an opinions video? Love to hear your opinion on DC announcing a crisis for 2020 and ending it with a reboot. I actually did talk about it. Well, not really. Somebody mentioned it in, I think it was Corey who mentioned it in the Facebook group. And I just put that No More Mutants thing with just Scarlet Lips, the Scarlet Witch's beautiful lips. Yeah, I took that picture and I kept the No More and I erased mutants and I put in crises. Because yeah, I'm so sick of the crises. And you remember when DC said, "Okay, that's it. We're not going to do any more crises anymore," and then they did Flashpoint, and it's like, first off, Jeff Johns didn't mean for that to be a crisis. Two, just because you call it Flashpoint does not mean it's not a freaking crisis. We know what that is. You just rebooted the entire damn universe. So they're going to do another one, and they're actually going to call it Crises apparently because Brian Michael Bendis is like, screw that crap. Call it a crisis. Like, dude, oh my God. Anyway, I do want to talk about all this stuff. I do want to do a one of these days. I do want to make a podcast. So yeah, if you guys are saying that this, I'm actually gonna record my. Oh, I'm gonna listen to myself on this later. I'm gonna listen how I sound on Audacity with this, and if it is good, yeah, like I said, maybe I'll get another one. And like I said, I just really do want to do a podcast with somebody. I want to do it with somebody though. I just think it's going to sound better like that. Yes, Black Monday Murders. That was Hickman, wasn't it? That was freaking amazing. Yeah, I love. In fact, I did a spotlight on story for Black Monday Murders for the first volume. God, that is amazing. I can't wait till he goes back and finishes that one day. It's through Image Comics, if I'm remembering correctly. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I do want to do a podcast where I will start giving the news for comic books and comic book related things like movies or toys, and I want to start giving my opinions on it because hell's to the yes. DC needs to bring Red Lantern Razor from the animated series to the comics. I heard about that character. I never actually watched. I watched the first episode. I think he was in that first episode, but yeah. Glad you do not have to wait long for the Batman transition, Professor, but in terms of waiting for the Superman transition, we all might have a long wait. No, you're right, but it is what it is. If enough people stop reviewing it, you know what I'm saying, then I think that I don't know, like see, it's one of those things. It's like there's here, if you've ever heard this is the first thing that I'd heard in my first of two statistics classes. There are lies, there are damn lies, and then there are statistics. So, Brian Michael Bendis and Dan Didio have both separately but together commented on the idea that, I know there's a lot of people out there saying they don't like the Superman work that I'm doing right now, but at the same time, half of the reviews are saying they love it, and only half of them are saying they hate it. It's like, wow, so it's a mixed bag. Is that what you're saying? But literally, it's a split decision. There's nobody who's really saying, yeah, it is what it is. Who cares? No reviewers, at least, right? They're all saying, I either love it or I hate it. Well, that's fine. Here's the question. How many people are doing the reviews? Because right now, you can't count my review anymore. My standing opinion is that it absolutely sucks. But since I'm not doing reviews anymore of that book and the Superman book anymore, they can't look at it. They can't look at they can't add me to that statistic. So if less people, if all the people who hate the book stop reviewing the book, and only the people who like the book are reviewing it, then it looks like, well, 100% of the reviewers love the book. Well, there's technically only like 5 to 10 people reviewing your book right now. Yes, but all 5 to 10 of them love the book. And they're really that stupid. And I hate saying things like that, but let's just call a spade for a minute. They're really that stupid that they can't understand that's exactly what's happening. I'm seeing less and less. Now that I'm not actually doing the reviews anymore, I'm happy to look at other people's reviews. Less and less people, fewer and fewer people, I should say, are reviewing Batman and the Superman book. So a lot of people aren't even reviewing the Action Comics book, which I am still reviewing, but that could end at any minute, dude. That could end with the next issue, you know? Oh, that's always fun. Wife's out there. I'm good. How do you think Deceased Year of the Villain will end? Year of the Villain will end. The Year of the Villain, I don't think, John, is going to end in such a great way. I think it's going to be more like, uh, uh. Real quick with Silver Surfer, um, the Silver Surfer's board can also phase, though. You know what I'm saying? So like his board is something special. To me, it's not necessarily about how hard the board is, because it could also be malleable if that's the case. There's an old there's a saying I learned when I was in ninjutsu when I was studying ninjutsu. Mike, my sensei, he says, uh, and I think it's actually a proverb. If you try to make in the strong winds, if you make your back solid like the oak tree, go and look at how many oak trees have bent and broken. But if you make yourself malleable like the willow tree, how many willow trees do you see uprooted? Right? So sometimes malleable is stronger. Um, yeah, I remember the idea. Like with Zorro, I was watching Zorro one time, and the swords kept, the ipi, the rapier, excuse me, the rapier. The sword kept on bending and whatnot. I'm like, why not use something strong like the katana? And then I think it was my father who pointed out. It was he was like, well, if it bends, it'll never break. But if it's solid, like if you take Zoro's sword and you slam it against a rock, what's going to happen? Take a katana and bang that against a rock. What do you think is going to happen? So it made sense. But also it phases. So there's that. But anyway, oh, I don't follow anything that Bleeding Cool says, Corey. I could just throw that out right now. Sorry. Um, let's see. So, how do you think Deceased will? With Year of the Villain, I don't know. It's not really doing anything for me. But as far as Deceased, I'm wondering if they're gonna like it's comic book, so I'm wondering if they're gonna end it in a way that it can continue. You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's the final book, but only for this volume. So some heroes will die or they'll be turned and whatever, and then pretty soon they'll start going after Galactus, I mean the Anti-Monitor, or whomever. They'll start doing the same thing as Marvel Zombies. That's really all it is. It's just another version of Marvel Zombies. DC copies off of Marvel, Marvel copies off of DC. They all copy off of each other and psh, whatever. It's only the indie books who are like, I'm going to do something completely different because, yeah. Um, Jan Vincent Ong. Hi from Manila. Wow, one of the 700 non-sinking islands. There's like more than I think there's like 1,100 or more that do sink seasonally. But yeah, Manila's I don't even think Manila's like the biggest of the islands, is it? But yeah, Philippines, dude. I know lots of people from Philippines. Um uh Salamat. There we go. I think that's the only Tagalog I know. And I know that they speak Tagalog in Manila. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Where do you think Shadow King is in Krakoa? I don't know if he's actually in Krakoa. Ooh, Amal Farouk might be. Damn, see, that's something special right there, man. I don't know. Because you'd figure Shadow King, like Shadow King is just, he's that great beast on the astral plane. You know what I'm saying? Like he essentially is the living astral plane. But as far as like Amal Farouk sitting right up here, I don't know. I don't know where he could be. It's a good question though. When he does show up, I hope it's amazing, and I kind of hope he goes after Karma again. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put that out there. New Mutants issue number two, baby. Ba bang. If DC really does this whole replacing the major characters, I give 2 years before most everyone is back to normal. Maybe one or two new characters stick around. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And the idea of making Wonder Woman the first character, she's the reason why all the other characters came. I guess that's kind of cute and all, maybe, because she is technically one of the oldest. I they could have done that with Hawkman, I guess, but I understand why they wouldn't. But as far as doing that with Wonder Woman, I feel like that's just a way of trying to show that she's much older, which I think they in some ways should. I don't know, it's a mixed bag, man. Like when they start changing things, I don't know, dude. I think that there's some characters you just can't change. They've been good this long for this many reasons. Now you're just going to go and change them and hope for the best. So you're right. There will probably be enough backlash that people be like, "Nope, don't do that." I mean, how long did Superman Red and Superman Blue last for, right? Psst, probably be about that long. Let's see. Let's go down to Brevin. What's up, Brevin? No one really excited about action or bat, right? Haran Alonso, what do you think went wrong with the Fox X-Men movie franchise? They sucked. See you later, Silva. They just sucked. Honestly, there are people who liked movies that I didn't like. People are like, "Oh, Days of Future Past, oh, so amazing." I didn't think it was that amazing. I thought it was okay, like barely okay. Again, just had to find a reason to use freaking Wolverine again, right? Okay, fine if that's what you need to do, but and then the director's cut. Why wasn't Rogue in it in the first place? You know what I'm saying? The Rogue cut or whatever they called it, the Rogue edition. Why wasn't Rogue in it in the first place? Why? I don't understand why they do so much with this nonsense. I don't think that the movie was as good as they acted like it was. I really just don't dig it. And I know that they've established once in a while that Wolverine dies in the water, but I personally don't like it. I prefer the version from what's it like? If the Hulk's healing factor allows him to develop gills, why wouldn't Wolverine's do that? You know what I'm saying? Or something to that effect. Just take the oxygen that's in the water that he's breathing and, maybe make it so that he goes right into a berserker rage and he's just trying to get out of the water, but he is still alive because, H2O1, right? So instead of getting 2 molecules of oxygen, you're only getting half as much oxygen from every breath, and your body's got to work harder to do it. Why not just freaking have it so that like he doesn't have to die in the water? I just think that's stupid. Whatever. Hey, David Presley, what's up? Ain't seen you in a while. Calloy's Comics, re- redacting messages, but what's up, dude? How you doing? Corey, yeah, shouldn't Carter and Lady Di be the oldest DC characters? Um, Yes, they should, technically. I mean, I know they die and resurrect, but or reincarnate, but still. SM 2099. Do you think Marvel version of the DC Black Label would be any good? Yeah, it's called Max, the Max series. And some of that stuff was amazing, namely Punisher Max. With Silva gone, I'm the one true Hall monitor, like the Highlander. There can be only one. um, Jan Vincent Ong, any underrated, weak, boring characters you want Hawkman, Hickman to reinvent? I wouldn't say, yeah, I would say underrated. I always say this, not Slug. What the hell is his name? He's got the two slugs that go. Is it Slug? Why can't I remember his name? I think it's Maggot. There we go. I think Maggot. That would be awesome. Doing something like that. Uh, has Marvel specified what Doctor Doom's actual title as leader of Latveria is? Is he king, a duke, or a grand duke? No, he's not a duke or grand duke. Have they stated that he's a king? I think they just said ruler. I think they've always just said ruler. I can't remember them actually saying, but they might have said king just because of the way that he's always sitting. They might have said something like that, but they've usually always just said ruler. So I don't know. Might be like supreme ruler or like divine leader, something like that. Yeah, ruler was always the word they used. By the way, finally saw Joker. It was amazingly well made. What it's trying to say, though, well, aside from woke culture ruined comedy, Oh, really? Does it say? That's awesome because yeah, it has. A socialist writer, no one left to fight, and I like it. A socialist writes, no one left to fight, and I like it. I don't know how you just switched from this to that. That's really weird, man. Um, but anyway, yeah, I've got no problem with socialism as long as it's actual socialism. If the government is controlling stuff, that's whacked. But if you have the people controlling it, which is actually what socialism is, then that's awesome. That is especially awesome. So I'm down with that. As far as yeah, woke culture destroying comedy, yeah, dude, just watch Joe Rogan where he talks about that. He talks about Dave Chappelle. They only let like 5 reviewers, and they were woke reviewers, review Dave Chappelle's latest comedy show, and it was like a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, what? So I had to watch it. I had to see like, what is this? What's going on? And it was good. It was typical Dave Chappelle. It wasn't the funniest stuff he's ever done, but it was good. I'm like, what are they talking about? And all of a sudden they let regular people vote on it, and all of a sudden it's like a 98 or something like that. It's like, dude, you can't be trying to control stuff, man. You can't be trying to control a freaking narrative. All of this is thought control. And at the end of the day, like I I understand the idea of woke culture to a degree. All right, this is real talk. Because you know what? Like anybody saying racism doesn't exist in America anymore, you are not only are you woke, but you're sleeping like on the side of the freaking highway. You're getting ran over by a car pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Racism does exist in society. Misogyny does exist in society. If you don't understand that the basis for Comicsgate to this day really has always been about misogyny, a bunch of guys who just can't get laid and they're just like, me, I hate women. Captain Marvel was a good movie. You don't have to have liked the movie, but the whole idea, like every single argument that I've heard so far about it, is ridiculous, and it shows like people just need to go out and start trying harder with girls. That's real talk, my peeps. It's real talk. All of it. It's just pathetic. But at the same time, there is such a thing as being too woke. What is the purpose of a comedian? The whole purpose of comedians has been the idea of the court gesture. Court jester, not gesture, jester. The court jester was the person that if anybody spoke to the king in a way that was negative, you could have advisors, but they would always have to be careful about what they said and how they said it. And if the king says, hey, we're doing this, then you just shut your mouth. The purpose of the jester was that he could say anything to the king. He could flat out make fun of the king, and the king would show that he was a tyrant if he killed the jester. If the jester got killed, boom, done. Um, but for the most part, the only the realistic talk here. um, for me, like the whole purpose of being a comedian is that you do make commentary on society. The whole purpose of being a comedian to me is that you do make fun of things. I know it's not going to be what you think, but I do believe that comedians should be able to say anything they want. Yes, that does include like the unholiest of holies, the N word. If if it's done properly. You can be destroyed if you're just, if you're purposely saying it the wrong way. Like if you say you mother effing, yeah, you're done. You're done. You're clearly a racist. You're done. You know what I'm saying? But anything else, honestly, I think that white comedians should be allowed to make black jokes. I think black comedians do make white jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe that everybody should be able to make fun of everybody else because what is it? For crying out loud, I love seeing a comedian, any comedian, a white comedian, a black comedian, what do you call it? An Arab comedian, like what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. He does the one TV show on Netflix, and he got banned in Saudi Arabia, which I think is hysterical. I think he got banned in China too. Anyway, um, what do you call it? I love when all of them make fun of, just as an example, Indians. See, because I've known plenty of Indians, and I know that this thing that they do with their head, There, it is so expressive. There's so much they could do with it. It could be a sign of respect. It could be a sign of what is it? Disciplining someone. A sign of trying to shame someone. It could be a way of just like making it humorous. And I'm not quite so good at doing it myself, but when I see people doing it, when I see Indians doing it, it is so like you could say something and then by the head nod, you know if they're being sarcastic or not. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell so much by that back and forth head nod. It's amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I love seeing comedians of all nationalities making fun of it. Why? Because I get to, well, first off, you see what white people think of it. You see what black people think of it. You think what Arabs think of it. You know what I'm saying? I love when every race and gender, whatever, makes fun of Arabs because this is just that. Now, if you can just simply start calling all Arabs terrorists, well, then maybe you've got a problem. Maybe you got something deep inside, and your ticket numbers will show that you kind of suck. You know what I'm saying? But all things being what they are, Hassan Minhaj, thank you, Def Rocker. Yeah, I literally look at it at a place of learning is our CBU. Oh, wait, thank you, Suan. But honestly, I think that comedians should, for the most part, be um, off limits to judgment and criticism. Like even somebody like Stephen Miller. I don't find Stephen Miller funny at all. He's one of the very few conservative comedians, if you can even call it that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that like I think that the whole purpose of conservatives is that for the most part they're not really funny. Most of what conservatives make fun of is actually racist. And I know there's going to be some conservatives who are like, "What? What are you talking about?" But think about it. Most of what they do is just flat out insulting. Dems are a bunch of libtards and they're stupid. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but very specifically, conservative, not Republican, conservative comedians are really just all about insulting people. They're not really about observation more than anything else. But at the same time, I don't think that Stephen Miller should be um, banned or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he should be shamed or something like that. I think it should be as simple as if you want to watch him, watch him. If you don't, don't. And if he turns out to be poor or broke or something like that, so be it. But like there are just some things, man. People go and they start attacking. I understand if you're going to attack the news media for something. I believe if you're going to do you know what's funny? Coffee breath. You're right about Don Rickles. You know who else is funny about that? George Carlin. George Carlin would probably not be acceptable today because of some of the things he says. And it's funny. And you know what? Here, this is the perfect example. Think of how insulting, how hard hitting and insulting George Carlin was, right? Republican, the right, I should say, most specifically the conservatives, point to George Carlin because they don't actually listen to what he's got to say. They just listen to the idea that he's like, you bunch of freedom of speech bastards. You bunch of jackass, you're all a bunch of stupid, you bunch of jackasses. Go jerk yourself off or something like that's the kind of things he say. So they hear that and right away, yeah, that's my comedian. That's my comedian because that's the kind of humor that they're used to. Insulting, like critically insulting someone else, not constructively, no, critically attacking someone else. Yeah, George Carlin does that, but think about what he says. He's the most left of the left comedians that you could possibly imagine. There is nobody more left than George Carlin. He just does it in a very insulting way. Nobody's more left than George Carlin. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, if anybody asks me, what are your politics, Professor Bill? Straight up, my politics is George Carlin. George Carlin for president. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And I can't think of anything offhand that he said in his, more popular stuff that I haven't right away been like, yep, right away. Bang, we good. Everything this guy says, I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Um, what do you call it? But like he's extremely left. But the idea that he insults people makes conservatives right away think that's our guy, right? Oh no, that's not our guy. He actually believes in equal rights for everybody. Yeah, no. Nope. Um, what is this? LGBTQ go too far when making jokes about them? When making jokes about who? And the alphabet soup thing, probably not the greatest. Here, I see what you're saying. I don't like that it's called LGBTQ. When they started doing more things too, I didn't like that. It's like, dude, It's too much because it's not an acronym. It's not something you can just say. It's literally just letters. It's an initialization. And I know that they all stand for something special, but it's like my son was doing beats today. My 4-year-old was doing beats. He's in JK, junior kindergarten. Um, Beats are actually syllables, like excuse me, refrigerator, 5 syllables in refrigerator, oven, two. And when you understand English better, instructor of English, professor level, hey, college level, um, what do you call it? You understand that certain consonants do that. The stoppage consonants. Certain ones actually make you give pause. You know, what I'm saying to continue what you're going to say. Case in point, oven. Four lousy word. Bear is only one syllable, right? How come oven is two? Because V causes you to actually take a pause. Oven. You can't just go oven. You can't do it. Oven. It causes you to skip on it. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you call it? So when you say LGBTQ, you can't do it quickly, and it's literally you have to remember every single letter. I wish that they could find a better term that they could use. You know what I'm saying? Um, what do you call it? But at the same time, I don't like it when people say, "Oh yeah, LGBTQ plus." There is no plus. There is no plus. If you're gonna add other people to it, then actually add the people to it because it's like just a plus. I wouldn't want to be a plus. Nobody likes to be a plus one. It's like, oh, you're getting the invitation, and you could bring some slacker along if you want to. Nobody wants to be the plus one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyway. No, I just like George Carlin. I support the idea that gay people should have right all of the. I don't know why gay isn't good enough, but whatever, man. Anyway, I don't understand why the world is the way it is. Like everybody needs to fight for rights, and it's funny because my wife she goes to her Muslim groups. You know what I'm saying? Because culturally she's still technically Muslim, and she'll go there and she put up something, I forget what it was, and she always gets a lot of likes and loves and blah 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 in her little Facebook group and whatnot. And all of a sudden, that's funny. They need a marketing director. Um, she puts up a bunch of stuff all the time, and all of her friends always yes 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 I agree yeah, and lots of comments and whatnot. She put up something recently about gay people deserve rights. She got one like. She got one like, and she comments about it to me today. Why do you think that is? I don't know. Why do you think it is that Muslims back in what year was that? They voted for George W. Bush Jr. Yeah, George W. Bush. So George Bush Jr. twice. Like like Muslims are conservatives. Most religious people are conservatives. They vote right. Why? Most of the time, they don't want gays to have rights. That's funny because the same thing stopping them from getting their rights, including you, is the same thing stopping you from getting your rights. So, like, we're either all in it or white men are just going to rule everything. I don't know what to tell you. Like that's the only way that we actually get more people, in on things. So I just don't get it. Most younger people just say queer. Oh, Tosh Omni, cool. If I hear enough gay, at least if I hear gay people who I know, and I don't really know any gay people anymore. I keep in touch with two gay friends on Facebook. We barely ever talk anymore. We're just Facebook friends now. But yeah, if I ever meet more, my wife knows gay people, whatever. It would be nice if, yeah, we could just say a word instead of that. The writer of the incel supported manifesto was a past mass shooter whose name I cannot recall. Wow. That's messed up, yeah. It's messed up. I know there's an AMA, but could we try and keep it more on comics? Smart lefties on YouTube, anything praising chauvinism can go F themselves, though. Yeah, I just really don't get the chauvinist thing. I really just don't get it. I don't know, man. I don't get it. But whatever, man. It is what it is. You know what? Another martial art instructor told me this, and he was also big on social activism. Um, oh, it was Mike, my sensei for ninjutsu. He told me this back in Ohio. He says, um, he says, I'm not. What does he say? Mike was black. Mike is, I imagine he's still alive. Mike is black. And I think I was 10, 11, or 12 years old when I asked this. It's probably 11. And I say, because there's not a lot of black people in Ohio at the time. I used to always make this joke. There were more UFO sightings than black people sightings in Ohio, at least where I was, far to the west. But he said something to the effect of, "I'm not saying that people won't put their boot on your neck, but if they do put their boot on your neck, how far are they going to be able to climb with their foot on your neck?" You get what I'm saying? He said it much more eloquently than I'm saying it right now. So it's like if you're always trying to keep someone else down, you're never going to be able to get yourself back up again. Oh, but maybe one of the ways to do it is for the rich people to tell poor white men, make sure you keep your boot on their back so that they can't do anything, so they can go up, but you can't. That's the thing. If we really want to make divisions in this country, make it between the rich and the poor. And by rich, I mean the 1% wealthy, super wealthy. You don't need that much damn money because the only way people get to that much money is by exploiting other people. That's just the way that it works. It's exploitation. You know what I'm saying? Um, Makes the brain shrivel and begging for hope. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is really like it's very down. It brings you down, you know. Um, sure, I'm more than willing to change topics from this ulcer topic, right? How do you think Hickman's New Mutants will use Corsair and the Summer Brothers, who is the Summer Brothers' dad? Yeah, Corsair from the Starjammers. I don't know, but I saw that he's going to be in the book, so yay. Um, usually this Usually he's only in it for the space adventure, so maybe it's some kind of a space thing that's down on Earth. Maybe it involves the Brood. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's something that's actually on Earth where it's like, yay. I think ice cream should rule the Earth. Suan has got like the coolest comments. Don't let's just look a gift horse in the mouth right now, just for once, all right? She barely ever talks, but when she does, it's like manna from heaven, baby. I think we should talk about the things Hickman's X-Men will end or which path it will go. Does it have to end? Because he's kind of setting it up to keep going. Here's the thing. If Hickman's not going to stay on the book, then like even spuriously, like intermittently, then I think that what's going to happen is it's eventually going to fizzle. It's not going to go out with a bang, but a whimper, you know? Um, do you think Donny Cates? Oh wait, Mark Guerrero. Do you think the woke drama didn't get out of control till Ghostbusters? No, well, out of control. N- Not for comics. For comics, somehow it was everybody uniting around the milkshake girls. You know, Heather Antos taking that picture of all the girls combining DC and Marvel after Flo Steinberg's death. Like, think about that. This is still comic books. Flo Steinberg died, right? So Heather Antos took a picture of her and all these other girls getting a milkshake. And instead of make mine Marvel or make mine DC, it's like, you know what? Let's make mine milkshake. And it was just a simple little picture. And people talking about, this is the whole reason why PA. What's up, Paula? How's the potato diet doing? Doing pretty good. When I'm hungry, I take a bite of potato. That's it. It's as simple as that. Um, I've changed it recently for the past 2 days because I'm done with the diet now. Um, I'll try to have one like more than just potato nutritious meal a day, but after that, yeah. If I do get hungry, I just eat a potato. So mostly I'm down to like 2 meals a day, one meal and then like a potato or two in the middle of the night if I'm up for too long. Cliff Elor, my bad, Professor. I've been MIA for a while, but I'm still watching the reviews and loving the grind. Much respect. Well, Cliff, I want to thank you very, very much for the super chat. You are freaking awesome. Darla just took a nosedive. I am sorry. Get back up there, girl. Get back up there, girl. And you know what? Since you didn't actually request anything specifically, I'm not going to use Shazam. I'm going to use a guardian of the universe. Boom chaka laka laka, boom chaka laka laka, boom chaka laka laka, boom chaka laka laka. Do the booty walk. Boom chaka laka laka. Boom shaka laka laka. Boom shaka laka laka. Boom shaka laka laka. Boom shaka laka laka. There you go. So thank you very much for the super chat. Much love. Um, so back to the thing. The milkshake girls. Literally, I don't understand what else that had to be. It's just, and I talked to Heather Antos about it. No, it's not a raw potato. It's a twice baked potato. I bought the potatoes. I washed them like I let them sit overnight in water. I changed the water once on them, and then I actually scrubbed them and I got rid of it. How about I do the dance? Because I suck. Anyway, so then I bake it at 450 for an hour, and then I let it cool. I let it come to a complete cool, like so that I can pick it up and it's still kind of cool to the touch. And then and this is all wrapped in aluminum foil. And then I bake it again at 450 for an hour. And then once it cools down, then I eat it. So it's extremely soft. All of the bad starches are gone. I saw somebody talking about that on the Joe on one of the Joe Rogan podcasts, and yeah, so it's just as tasty as a potato usually is, but I don't put anything on it. So it's a virgin potato, I guess. But I bake all of my potatoes, and I what do you call it? Just yeah, it's tasty, and I'm allowed to eat it and I'll go for like hours. I spent 4 hours at an auto mechanic yesterday, just sitting down, writing my notes in my book, and then just reading some of their magazines, just chilling. My stomach was grumbling the whole time. Burger King was right there, and I loves me that bacon, or not bacon, the ranch thing that they do, whatever the heck it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but it's got the onion rings on it. And it's like smoked. It's really tasty. I love it. But I just sat there the whole time. I didn't get up and act like I was gonna go. Like I just looked at it a couple times, like, Psh, fuck you, Burger King, and I kept on doing my thing. And meanwhile, my stomach is grumbling, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't care, because to me, it's just that. Last night I cheated a little bit. They have these Walmart cookies. They're vanilla. They're all yellow with the vanilla, stuff. It's like an Oreo, but it's the vanilla Oreos and I got me a glass of milk. So all I do mostly is I eat potatoes and water. I don't have anything besides water. And like I said, I'll have a meal, a healthy meal. It's the 1840 Irish diet. So I had 7 cookies left in a sleeve. I was like, you know what? I haven't had sugar in a really long time. I kind of want the cook, and I'm just staring at him. I was like, I shouldn't do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it because who cares? It was last night. So I grabbed the cookies, I grabbed the milk, I brought them out, and I dipped them, and I was like, I started putting them in my mouth, and I wasn't even thinking about the taste or anything like that. I got 6 cookies down. The seventh cookie, I started actually thinking about it, and it was the last cookie, and I was like, wow. I'm just in there. Yes, I eat virgins. And I was like, wow, you know what? And I went back into the kitchen. I spit out the like all the rest of the cookie. I thought about making myself throw up the rest, but I didn't feel like purging. I got a purge stormtrooper, but I didn't like purge or anything like that. And I dumped out the milk because like I took a sip of the milk and it was like, dude, it's all freaking sugary. And literally, I'm like, it's not doing anything for me. It's not making me go, ooh, or anything like that. And I don't want to become addicted to sugar again because it's highly addictive. People don't pay attention to that. It's highly addictive. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I walked away from this. So literally, I was like, wow. And literally, I was in Walmart today. I had to go and buy a new screwdriver, and I didn't have time to go all the way to Home Depot. So anyway, yeah, I just did that, and I saw the cookie, and I was like, wow, I have zero interest in cookies right now. Anything sweet, I walk past candy aisles, dude. None of that stuff phases me right now. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I hope it lasts a really long time. Um, so anyway, yeah, so there was the milkshake thing. Anyway, that's when all of a sudden Comicsgate came up. It was just all the Gamersgate guys, you know what I'm saying we don't want women in our things. We just want, big boobs and big butts and sexy, scantily clad women and shut up. And they compare it that, men just we always have all these big strong superheroes and stuff like that, guys that are impossible body shape. So why can't we have impossible body shapes over here for such and such and such? And why you upset about the Spider Girls, the Spider Woman thing and all this? It's like, dude, I like having sexy girls in my comic books too, but I don't see why we can't have a character like Faith in the comic books also. I genuinely do not see the purpose. But then you get people like Mr. Comicsgate himself. What the hell's his name? Zach, your boy Zach. He's not my boy. If he was my boy, I'd beat the shit out of him. But yeah, my boy Zach. He says um, you know, Faith, the sales are down because blah 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 blah. They're always talking about the sales are down because of this, that, and the other thing, and it's like I imagine they still exist. I imagine they still exist. I saw somebody. Oh, that Ethan Van Sciver dude. Remember him? Yeah. Nobody else does either. Um, his freaking Cyber Frog, I think, is the name of the comic book that he was doing. Really? Cyber Frog? Who else besides Comic Gators are buying those? And you know exactly how many Comic Gators there are because you can see their subscription numbers. They're not anyplace else, so it's like the most ridiculous thing in the world. Anyway, so yeah, they have their little thing and they just stick together and they jerk each other off in a circle and one of the lucky people gets to eat the cookie, I guess. Anyway, and they just bash on women. I saw Yellow Flash was a moderator for him for Ethan Van Sciver, and he's like, "Comicsgate will never die," and I'm like, "You're such a pussy." Oh my God, it's pathetic. And literally, alls it is like maybe some of it's racism too. I don't know, but at the end of the day, for the most part, it's chauvinism, it's misogyny, it's sexism. That's what it is. And they can preach misandry all they want. I don't even know if they know the word, but like it's misogyny the whole entire way. That's all it is. And it's pitiful, it's pathetic, it's miserable, and oh well, let them sit around their little circles and enjoy themselves. But that's all it is. And every time that one of them says, "No, that's not really what it's all about," I go and I look, and yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. People saying in the chat the whole time, because apparently somebody lost a court case. It wasn't Ethan, or excuse me, it wasn't Zach. He didn't. Richard Meyer, that's his name. It wasn't Richard. That case hasn't been figured yet. Apparently he's losing bad. Apparently everything that he tries to bring up, the judge is just dismissing them. It's like, dude, you suck. Go away. But instead, he goes and he says stuff like, this other guy, he tried to do something and they ruled no, dude. And the judge actually laughed at him. So right away, they're like, oh, corrupt judges. Dude, corrupt judges, come on, man. It's a simple court case about a character's use and stuff like that. Give me a break. But because the guy's a comic skater, anything they say, oh, it's got to be that. It's got to be the comic skater is right. My God, you bunch of followers. It's ridiculous. Uh, anyway, it is what it is. um, hey, Netferno. Wow, that's a cool name. What's up? How you doing in Haiti? Comics. I know. Sorry, that's just what they do. They manipulated the Comicsgate crowd into buying that book. Oh, of course they did. All the books. That's just what they do. Kiowa Carter, you tell them. I'm just laughing about it. Um, I want to make comics when I graduate from comics. Or when I guess when you graduate from school, where should I go to learn about it? Um, internet, good enough. And it depends. You want to write comics or draw comics? If you want to draw comics, draw. You have to draw. Draw real things, not just whatever. That's what all the artists say. Yeah, I knew you meant college. Um, but as far as writing, you got to write. Apparently, you just got to write. You got to write your ass off every single day. Keep on writing. I want and approve more lady writers, artists, editors, marketers in our hobby tents. Yeah, I just want people who are good at it. I just want people who know what they're doing. And the whole argument, it's so funny. The whole argument that these people, they love Jim Shooter. And that's the funny thing. I don't know about any of these jackasses, but I've actually met, shaken hands with, and covered a panel for Jim Shooter. And I've done an exclusive interview with Jim Shooter. You guys can check that out on Comic Book University. Jim Shooter exclusive interview. I've talked to him afterwards. I don't really have anything to say to him now, but I have kept in email communication with him, his personal email, which he gave me, because he loves the topics I talk about. He loves all the stuff, and he knows that I promote the stuff that he does. Um, Jim Shooter, he's a freaking god, former god in the comic book industry. And these people, the comic skaters, they love to proclaim him as their own because he talks about he doesn't like Brian Michael Bendis. He will mention other people if he wants to, but he just says flat out, I don't like Brian Michael Bendis. That's funny. Neither do I. But apparently nobody does. Anyway, so they right away try and say, "Oh, Jim Shooter, yeah, yeah, yeah." The problem is Jim Shooter doesn't approve of them. He doesn't approve of Ethan Van Sciver. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know who any of these guys are. But I'm just like, yeah, these are guys who realistically they just have a problem with women being in comic books. They think that women like they're ridiculous. They say that if women get in comic books, they must have done sexual favors, most of them oral, or just some way they slept their way into the business or something like that. And he laughed about that. He's like, do they know how much money these comic book guys make? He's like, nobody made more money in comic books than when I was editor in chief in Marvel. Nobody made more in comic books than when I was editor in chief. I know that they don't. I don't know how much they make now, but I know they make maybe half of when I was editor in chief. They don't pay that well in comic books. Who the hell would sleep with somebody for that job? How is that job so lucrative? He's like, honestly, I don't know why anybody's even doing comic books anymore because nobody's paying for them. They're not being sold. Like they're just like nobody's getting the comic books anymore. Why would anybody want to be in comic books anymore? He doesn't get it. So like all of their arguments for the most part, he balks at them. You know what I'm saying openly. So them trying to claim him as their own, like they're desperate and clawing for any kind of attention. They're pathetic and it's hysterical to me. Jim Shooter does not approve of Comicsgate. But yeah, when they say these stupid things like that, I laugh my ass off about it. That was Zach that made that rumor. Like, he's just a jackass. But here's the funny thing about it. Why do I bring up Jim Shooter in the first place? Because the thing they say about it is people like Kelly Thompson and others like her also, like Gail Simone. These women, but also guys. But these women say, when they say, how did you get into comic books? Oh, well, I just used to read thousands of comic books. I've read so many comic books, and I just feel like I can do them on my own. Cool. So what do they say? Oh, reading thousands of comic books is not an excuse it's not a qualifier to get into comic books, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Go and check out my personal interview that I did, my exclusive interview that I did with Jim Shooter. Ask, or check out when I ask him, how did you get into comic books? And when he says, well, I was into comic books for a while, and then I stopped reading them, and then I went to the hospital for a while. I was in, I was admitted to the hospital for like a week or two. I forget which one it was. It was like a week or it was 2 weeks. And when I was in there, I saw that the DC comic books that I was typically reading weren't being read. The Marvel comic books were being read, so I started reading them, and I loved them. So I said, "How come? What is Marvel doing right that DC's doing wrong?" So what did he do to figure it out? He read literally thousands of comic books. And he started to realize the difference in his research. And he said, oh, well, I think I can do this. Excuse me. And then he started writing comic books. He didn't go to writer's school. He didn't start doing this, that, or the other thing or jumping through hoops. He literally did exactly what Kelly Thompson does or did, what Gail Simone did, what all these other writers who were female said. He read thousands of comic books and then he started writing for comic books and he got hired for writing for comic books. Is he better than them? Worse than them? Maybe he's better. Who cares? The idea is he did the exact same thing. So, like seriously, comic skaters, you are stupid. You are stupid and you're really miserable and you're dumb and I really hope that you die in a fire because you're just pathetic and the earth will be better off without you. Far better. Anyway, but here's the thing about it. Kelly Thompson specifically, I didn't even know this about her until I asked her and she told me. She used to review comic books. So everybody who's saying, "Hey, Professor Bell, all the comic books that you review and all the comic books that you read and review and all that stuff, I love your opinion on this stuff. How would you do such and such? I would love it if you were writing such and such and such." I would too. So let's get this straight. You would like me to write comic books because you like how I review comic books. Isn't it interesting that's the exact same way that Kelly Thompson got into comic books? Kelly Thompson used to review comic books, I think for CBR, or I don't remember which one that she used to review comic books for, but it was back when they were good, whatever it was. So yeah, Kelly Thompson used to review comic books. She used to do written reviews for comic books. That's what she used to do. So more than just reading them, she actually researched them. She psychoanalyzed them. She did reviews for comic books. And now all of a sudden, she is this amazing writer. And all these people, all the things that they say, it's literally you have to be a moron to believe the things that they say because just into the wind, man. Literally. You know how they say don't spit in the wind? It's probably worse to jerk off in the wind. I'm just saying, that's just my honest. I'm just going to guess on that. I don't have any actual proof. I don't want any actual proof, but that's what I'm going to assume. That's what I'm going to assume. So let's see. Technical question. It runs past. Uh, in past runs, have the Summer Brothers had a consistent relationship with their dad, Corsair? Um, what's his name? Or do they have daddy issues? Well, yes, they do. They do both have the main two brothers. They definitely have daddy issues. More specifically, Scott, young Scott, did go and hang out with his father for a while, and it was cool. It was actually a pretty fun run. He got to hang out with his dad in space for a while, and then when he Jim Zub made it canon that when Brisson and crap, who all did this? Rosenberg, Brisson, and Kelly Thompson, when those three made Young Scott and all the five original Young X-Men go back into their place in time, that our time, the Earth 616 current time, is correct again. So, oh, look at that. Earth 616 universe doesn't quite work the same way we always thought it did, right? But anyway, they remembered that stuff. And how do we know for a fact they remembered all that stuff? Jim Zub made it official in one of his champions. I think it was in one of the champions books. It was the oh, for crying out loud, the War of the Realms crossover tie-in book with the champions. Scott Summers came back and he was fighting alongside the champions. He's like, I remember you guys. No, that was me. That was actually in your team and stuff like that. Yeah, it was great and blah blah blah. So, yeah, it's canon. So, so yes, they did actually hang out the one time, him and Scott, Corsair and Scott. Until X-Men 104, they thought he was dead. Raven knows all these technical aspects. Or in school, also, yep. A summary of Corsair's story before I researched him in the Marvel fandom wiki. Um, No, go check out the wiki. I actually didn't do the Marvel fandom wiki. I actually used to be a contributor. I still do once in a long blue moon, but I used to be one of the contributors there. I don't think I ever contributed to Corsair, but I have contributed to like Cyclops a lot, Wolverine, a whole bunch of the other, and mostly I used to do the books themselves. I used to contribute to the issues. So yeah. Did you ever look up Zoe Quinn and what she did? She is now working for Marvel and DC. No, I never did look up Zoe Quinn. I'll have to do that one of these days. That's an hour and a half plus that I've been talking, guys. I think I'm going to bounce because the kids are actually not in bed yet, which means the wife is probably having a hard time doing it. So, is Corsair a mutant himself? No, he's not. Corsair is not a mutant, unless they did something to change that and I don't know about it. But anyway, yeah, there's that. All right, guys. So I'm going to bounce, and then I'm going to listen to how good or bad this my voice sounds in this, and yeah, then we'll see what's what. So it's been cool. Oh, special announcement. Unfortunately, I meant to say something. Special announcement coming up in this Monday's Face Rip game, the Marvel Superheroes Advanced role playing game that I do. Big announcement there for how you guys can actually join that game. Hint, hint, you got to have Facebook. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. All of you guys, yeah, I'll see you guys. Yeah, I still say bounce. I still say a bunch of old school stuff because I'm still living in the 80s. So whatever, man, and early 90s. Anyways, I'm out. I'm outie 5,000. All right, how about that? You like that one better? Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.